Okay, so in this videos I will be showing the banknotes from the ninth series. So the last king, the previous king of Thailand, King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, he is the ninth king of the current dynasty, the Chakri dynasty. So his the first series note during his reign is the ninth series, and he also the ninth monarch of the Chakri dynasty as well. So in this series, there are 6 denominations: the 50 Satang, 1 Baht, 5 Baht, 10 Baht, 20 Baht, and the 100 Baht. So it was first issued in 1948, and the ninth series was circulated for over 20 years. So people were quite familiar with the color scheme of the denominations. So the Bank of Thailand kind of like stuck on the color scheme for each denominations. So the first denomination banknote of this series is the 50 Satang. So I have 2 of the notes. So let me so this is the front of the note, and then the front you have the Constitution of Thailand. So this is the holder, and then another the holder on top, another holder holding the first Constitution of Thailand. Thailand was founded, I think, the current dynasty started ruling Thailand in 1782, about 6 or 7 years after the Declaration of U.S. independence by Rama I, King Bhumibol the Great. And then in 1932, there's a bloodless coup that overthrew the absolute monarchy and then turned Thailand into a constitutional monarchy. So that's the first constitution of Thailand. And then this series is printed by Thomas Delarue and Company Limited. So the front is the Constitution of Thailand. So that's the Garuda, and then the writing just said like Government of Thailand, and then like this noise like a tender or something like that. And then here's a 50 Satang here, and then here you have the error 1 elephant, the 3-headed elephant. It used to be the like coat of arms of Thailand, but it represents like Central Thai, Southern Thai, and then Northern Thai, something like that. And then here's the back of the note. So the price tag here, that is how much I pay for it. So I paid 1,500 baht for the note. So the back here you have the Prasamut JD. So here's a closer look of the temple. So that temple is still around. It's located in one of the provinces next to Bangkok, Krom Thep. And then the 1 Baht type 1. So for the type 1, so this is the front. King Bhumibol Adulyadej in the uniform of a supreme commander of the Royal Thai Armed Forces. And then on the middle here, that's Wapo. So here's the king. And then here's the Wapo. I think that's the temple where the reclining Buddha is. And then I think like the temple where Thai massage originated. So. And then the back here, that's the Ananta Samahon Trong Hall, one of the modern royal palaces built during the reign of King Chulalongkorn the Great, Rama V. And then it was also used as the first parliament of Thailand after the Siamese Revolution. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the whole day my neighbor have been doing some yard works, so sorry for the loud noises. So the next note is the 1 baht type 2. So right here you have the raised serial number, right? And then now the serial number is black. So that's the difference between type 1 and type 2. So not much different. So almost same everything. Just that they switch and they change the color of this serial number. So type 2, type 3. For type 3, so at first you have the youthful portrait of the king, and then now you have a more mature portrait of the king. So that's the difference between the 2 and 3, this series, type. And then that will be for the rest of the other denomination too. So this is the, and then this portrait looks similar to the second definitive stamp that was used during Rama IX's reign as well. So here's the back of the Ananta Samahon Trong Hall. And then type 4. For type 4, so the type 3, it has the red and blue fiber in the middle here. And then now it doesn't have the red and blue fiber in the middle. So that's the difference between the type 3 and 4. And I paid 150. So type 4, you have the watermark, you have the Constitution, and then the previous type as well. And then for type 5, instead of the Constitution, now you have the watermark of the king's head. So that's the difference between 4 and 5. And this one I pay 170 baht. It just really depends where you bought it from, and then the condition of the notes as well. So the difference between type 5 and type 6 is the penalty clause right here. So it looks exactly the same as type 5. It's just that the penalty clause, let me zoom one more time. Let's see, 10, okay. And a little too much. Okay, so the type 5 and prior type, it has the same penalty clause where it will say that, or if you were to make any counterfeit note, you will be fined, I think, like 10,000 baht, and then you will be locked up for like 10 years, I think, right here, 10 years, and or I think 10,000 baht or something like that. And I don't remember exactly what it say, but so, and then this is type 6. So instead of the listed years of imprisonment and then the fine, it will say that anyone who make counterfeit notes will be punished according to the law. And right? No. Yeah, I think the previous penalty clause, it has a lesser imprisonment sentence and then a lesser fine amount, and then for type 6, it has a harsher and longer prison term and then a bigger fine. Yeah, that might be it. Yep. So if I misspoken, please correct me as well. So now we'll look at the 5 baht type 1. So the type 1 here, the young youthful portrait of the king, and then the back here, that's the Pra Pathomajedi. So here's regarding the portrait, Thai collector like to call this youthful portrait of the king as the Nanum, and then the more mature is Nakao. So this is the temple, and then this is the signature of the governor of the Bank of Thailand, and then the signature of the Minister of Finance, and then here's the Garuda, and then the three-headed elephant, and then this is the back of the notes. So all denominations except the 50 Satang has the same denomination, same reverse. So the reverse here is the Ananta Samakon Hall. It used to be a museum, and then it reverted back to the king as a royal palace. And then the front, it has the statue of Rama IX riding a horse, and then that place is now gated as well, so public can't access the place anymore like before. And then the plaque in the ground stated where the overthrow of the absolute monarchy was, the previous military government, they removed that as well. So for type 2, exactly like what I said during the 1 baht. So they changed the coloring of the cell number from red to black. So that's the only difference between type 1 and type 2. And then this note I bought for 2,500 baht. So you have a U4 portrait of the king. Oh, so for type 3, I do not have the type 3. So type 3, you have the more mature portrait of the king, and then you have the red and blue fiber in the middle. So type 4, it doesn't have the blue and red in the middle. So that's the difference. Oh, regarding on, so back then, the Thai government are not very stable. So the note that has the least print with the either the Minister of Finance or the governor of the Bank of Thailand, those notes signatures are the one that will worth more. And then this is the back, and I pay for 600 baht. And then type 5. So the first 4 type, it has the Constitution as the watermark, and then now 5 and 6, it has the head of the king. So that's the difference. And then here's the penalty right here. And then I pay for 500 baht. And then type 6, same as the one. They changed the penalty clause right here. So all of the type 6 except the 100 only have 5 type. So it will be the 5th type. It will have the same penalty right here. So on the first 5 for 1 to 20 baht, and then 1 through 4 for the 100 baht. It will have the longer penalty clause, right, instead of the shorter. And then the 10 baht. The 10 baht, you have the UFO portrait of the king, and then the red serial number with the black and blue fiber, and then the watermark is the Constitution. And then the middle here, that's the Parakan fortress. So let's take a closer look. This note is not in very good condition, but the only note that I find that not worth, but that I wanted to add to my collection, because I bought this note for 10,000 baht. The time when I bought off this note, thankfully it was not at the height of the hype. Not the hype, but the king was passed away like 6 years before I bought this, and then back then it was much more expensive, so it went down. But now 3 years later, this note probably cost like 7,000 or something like that. So yep, you have to buy things at the right time and the right place. So yeah. So for type 2, now you have the black serial number instead of the red serial number, and then still have the black and blue, no, red and blue fiber. And then for this note, I pay for 3,000 baht. I think the previous one, why it's so expensive, is that it might be the signature. Nope. So yep. So type 3, now you have the mature portrait of the king. So that's the Order of Julachom Grau, and then that's the Rama IX cipher, and then that's the 150 anniversary of the founding of Ratanakosin. And then I pay 1,400 baht for this note. And type 4. I also cost me 1,400 baht. Type 5. This note cost me 200. And then type, what type is it? Type 6. Cost me 400 baht. So the 20 baht. So the youthful portrait of the king. And then you have the, I believe that's the Mahachakri Prasad Trong Hall and the Grand Palace. So here's the portrait of the king. And then the Royal Palace and the Grand Palace. So the notes that have Marshal Pibon signature, the if F12 red serial number, that one costs like more than 100,000 baht. I think last time I saw one sold for like 120 or 150,000. So it depends on the condition too. So that's one note that most Thai collectors sought after because it's printed in a very low quantity. And then this note cost me 16,000 baht. And then the back is still the Ananta Samakon Trong Ho. So and then now the second edition, the black serial number. And then cost me 6,500 baht. So type 3, now you have the more mature portrait of the king. So here's, and then this note cost me 1,000 baht, a huge jump. So type 4, 1,000 baht. And then the one down here cost me only 800 baht. So this is the 1,000 baht, 800 baht. I used to have multiple notes. Now I only keep two of each or one, depending on how much I have early when I first acquired. So this one you consider environmental damage. I don't know if I bought any other note this of this type, but this is the note that I decided to keep in my collection, and the rest I put in the auction in Thailand. So type 5. So now you have the head of the king, and then this one cost me 1,500 baht. So yep, I think this note I might bought earlier in my collection tour, so maybe that's why this note cost me more than. And then this 6, type 6. And then here's the back. So for the 100 baht, unlike the previous denomination, the serial number usually was red, but for the 100 baht, the type 1 started with the black serial number. So here's the front of the note, the U4 portrait of the king, and then this is not Wat Arun, but it's within the Wat Arun complex. This is the Wat Jing. It's across from Wat Arun. So here's the U4 portrait of the king, and then the two demon, giant demon. And this note cost me 6,000, but the one down here cost me 65. So the 65 look much worse than the 6,000 here. So just depends where and when you bought it. So usually type 2 is the U4 portrait of the king, right? But because this denomination only have 5 types, so the second type is the more mature portrait of the king. So here's the king and the Wat Jing, and here's the back of the note. So this note cost me 7,000. Much more expensive than the, I don't remember where I bought it. So type 3 cost me 1,500 baht. And then type 4 I do not have type 4. And then type 5. So the type 4, like I said earlier, it has the penalty clause here is much harsher, and then this lesser. So you can compare this from what I showed earlier. So that's the last note of the ninth series. So yeah, the whole series was circulated for over 20 years. So that's all for this video.